Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Freedom Friday.
Oh, I like that. Yes. Happy Friday.
Yes. Welcome to Making Space,
hmm
our show. And
hmm hmm hmm
it has been such a wonderful ride. And here we are in the middle of May. Crazy,
I know.
crazy. Here we are. But let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Yes.
So, I am Latoya, your spiritual inner power coach, guide, and practitioner, helping you really truly integrate you into your next level self. That
hmm
higher level of loving, trusting, believing, and knowing yourself. That energetic level of feeling the expansion of yourself into your power using Reiki and EFT. I'm a master practitioner and just really my joy, my butter is to get you there. And I'm here on this Freedom Friday with my girl.
Yes, Marissa, I am a free, courageous, authentic woman, and I help women move from putting the needs, wants, and safety of others before their own to radically choosing themselves so that they too can live their most free, courageous, and joy-filled lives. And I do that through the power of breath work, workshops, one-on-one, wellness events, and all the things in between, really. But yeah, I am your girl. We talk a lot about getting back into our body and getting out of our heads and using the power of breath work to connect with ourselves. Is my I what did you call it? Your joy and butter?
Yes.
Yes, is my joy and butter. How to get in connection with yourself and your body. Yeah. So that is me. I am she.
And if you haven't been watching Marissa with a C on Instagram, she gives you just little snippets of this 5 minute resets. Yeah, this
Yeah.
5 minute breath resets. So go ahead on Instagram, Marissa with a C, and catch your 5 minute resets. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That is so it's so interesting that you just said that because that is kind of part of what I wanted to talk about today. So I'm really excited to get into this. Um and you said let me get my pen out. No, so when you mentioned that, I was with my family this past weekend because my niece graduated from college. Shout out to my niece
Mm.
Nia. And I flew into Virginia, to Newport News, Virginia, where she's went to school, and my family was in town for her graduation party. And my brother first, my brother is one of my biggest fans. I love him to death. He's the oldest out of the three of us. Um, but technology, okay,
I
Mercury was on.
know. It's trying to respond to the people's. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. So my brother is like, yeah, I've seen you, come across my feed. I'm used to, the people who are doing meditation and all of that stuff come across my feed. But now I see you. You're my sister. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, dude, I'm out here. But and so he was really excited for me. But then my cousin came up to me, right? And my cousin, he's one of my oldest cousins, and he was just like, usually when I see you come across the feed, he was like, I keep scrolling because I know you're talking to the chicks, and I have my little feelings about it, but I let him
Mm.
keep talking, and he was like, this time I just felt like you were talking directly to me, right? And he was like, because I guess I was doing one of my breath work resets, and he was like, it felt like you were talking directly to my spirit, like you would look at me dead in my eyes, talking to me, like, get your stuff
Mm.
together. Like, I know I ain't there with you, but you what you can do is take a moment and breathe, okay? Because I ain't gotta be there with you to know that you're going through some stuff, okay? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
need you to go ahead and take care of yourself. And
Mm.
to hear that they are listening, that they hear me, that they are being impacted by the things
Yeah.
that I'm saying just for a few minutes, really just it brought me joy, and it was a bit overwhelming because I'm like, I am really making the changes in my family that I wanted to, but in a I guess an indirect way. Cause I'm like, let's get together, let's talk, let's da 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 da. And it's like, no, girl, just walk in your purpose and in your power, and they will see it. It doesn't have to be anything specific, directed toward my family structure, right? I'm just doing what comes naturally to me and what feels good. And so yeah, I'm that's part of my week. That's one thing that I've learned this week.
I feel like this is so powerful because you have heard it said, and I know that people listening have heard it said that your actions are your most powerful sermon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times when especially when we're in the female energy, we're in the mom energy, we're in the caretaker energy, right? We can talk a lot. We can talk a lot, you know. We can we've learned and we want to share, right? We've
Mm-hmm.
experienced and we want you to experience, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is whole natural. But I feel like what you're saying right now is that you were able to see the the outcome, right, of actually just being, just
Mm-hmm.
relaxing into who you are, relaxing into who you feel you're called to be, and just being and just letting your light come out into the world and not having to do so, like forcefully or, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're seeing it. They're hearing me, right? I don't have to
Yeah.
do anything extra. I think that's a really great message for especially the women out here. Like we think we have to do all these things to show up and prove when we really just need to be the example by living our lives.
By
Yeah.
living our lives and not being afraid. Ooh, I feel this. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that went all the way down into my root. Um, and really allowing yourself to show up as yourself.
Hmm.
And I think that's a lot of what we do here.
Hmm.
You and I here, our real purpose here is authenticity. Like
Yeah.
really and truly, that's the nucleus of what we do here every
Yeah.
Friday. And um, allowing yourself to show up as yourself. I feel
Mhm.
like that's such a simple but super important message right now because the counter message is you got to look how many likes, right? Look how many hearts, look how many stars, look how many replies. The algorithm. Get your statistics, get your analytics, right? And all these things, whether you're in business or not, and receiving the message both consciously and subliminally that this is part of your worth, right?
Yeah.
That this is part of that this measures your impact.
Mhm.
So I'm not knocking anybody who does, right? And who uses those things. Absolutely. But that is not in any way, shape, or form measurement of the value, right? The worth of what you bring and who you are. And the truth of the matter is like even if it's reaching one person, right? And that person goes out to reach a million, right? It's like I don't have
Yeah.
words to explain it, but
Exactly.
it's that
That breath.
deeperness.
Yeah. That
It's
breath
that
is really
deeperness of
yeah.
who you are and your worth and your value and who and your essence, your being, your
Mhm.
significance here on this earth.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, let me show this comment right here.
Love it. Constantly thinking and you have to impress instead of just being.
Instead of just
Yeah.
being.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that hits me well because the truth of the matter is in this construct, because of the way that it has been going for so long,
Mhm.
when we are just being, we are impressive. I got to say that again. I got to say it again because that just gave me tingles. Listen, in this current construct,
Mhm.
when the surface message is you got to impress, you got to impress, you got to impress, the colors got to be right, the makeup got to be right, the shape got to be right, you know, you got to impress, you got to impress. The art of just being had been lost.
Mhm.
And that truth, yeah, that universal truth is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Is coming back in people like you and me and the people who are listening here. It's coming back in no, F that, right? It's coming back in
Yes, that.
just showing up as ourselves
Yes.
and just being. And when you have the courage, the boldness, the fear, but yet the tenacity to step through the fear
Mm-hmm.
and do the thing of just being, you
Mm-hmm.
are impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You are impressive.
Yeah, that
You are
that
impressive.
just reminded me of something. So we titled this "So What Have You Learned?" because I hit up Latoya and I was like, what if we just talk about how our week has been? Because this month is all about using our voice and speaking up. What if we talked about how life has been going for us, celebrating ourselves, right? And when you just mentioned like the fear, I've decided to take a dance class recently just to just to not only find other ways of being inside my body, but to be in community with other women. Because I set an intention to have more divine sisterhoods, right? And
Mhm.
being a business owner, a lot of times what you are being told and what you feel like you always got to be telling people what you're doing because somebody's a potential client, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I actually just want friendship. Like, I don't want to do that.
Imagine that.
I don't want to be selling anything. So I was like, let me join this dance class, do something that I enjoy doing and connect with other women. And if it comes out what I do and what I offer, then sure, I'll share it. If it doesn't,
Mhm.
cool. I'm just connecting with people. And so I go to this Afro sensual dance class, and every Saturday we're building on this dance. But the first Saturday, we all set our intentions on what we wanted to get out of it. And I said connection. Um, and so we learned some moves. And at the end of class, it's like we're going to go in twos and practice in front of everybody. And people can record you so that you have that to practice on your own when you're ready in between
Mhm.
Saturdays. So she was like, but does anybody want to go just by themselves? And my spirit was like, yeah, raise your hand. And I was like, no, I don't want to. I'm scared. But something in me was like, why don't we just do something that we're afraid of? Like,
Yes.
something that we're afraid of. So I was like, you know what? I'll go. And everybody started to clap and cheer. And someone was like, I'll take the video for you. And as I'm getting myself prepared, I was like, I'm actually doing this because I'm scared. And they were like, let's do it. So as I started to get, the song was coming in, they're like cheering and clapping and doing, egging me on, which was great. And of course I didn't do it perfectly, but I did it. And
But you
it
did it.
felt it felt one that I got the connection that I wanted, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Immediately, because I put
Mhm.
myself out there to be vulnerable and did something that I was afraid of. But then it
Mhm.
encouraged and inspired other women like, oh, I'll go by themselves instead of going in twos with other people.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think just doing things that we are afraid of will inspire not only ourselves but other people around us for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Thank you
What's
for sharing that.
Thank you. What's been going on with you? What have you learned over this last? I know there's been a lot of these transits. There's Mercury, there's Pluto, there's full moon, there's eclipse. Like what's been going on for you?
Um,
She's like, where do I start?
I I feel like so much, but a lot of it is like really subtle undercurrents,
Mm.
you know? So I did a thing. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I did a thing. It was in my spirit to do an in-person event. Did I mention this last time?
I don't think you did. I think you and I talked about it.
Okay. It was in my spirit to do a face-to-face event. And then I was like, it's okay. When it came, right? When the download came, I was like, yes. And usually for me, for events, when downloads come, they come immediately, right? Everything comes at once.
Mm,
The title, the event, all the parts of the events,
I love
how we
this.
end it. It just, if I don't grab something quickly, right? It all comes immediately. So I had it all. I went to my computer, I sat down, like in about an hour and a half. Everything was done. The graphics, Canva, everything was done, right? By the way, this happened in March. And then I set the date and I went in, put it in Eventbrite, everything. And then doubt came,
Mm-hmm.
which I love that I'm talking about this right now because I just did a live yesterday on self-doubt.
Mm.
Doubt came, and immediately I was like, because it's a beach event. And I was like, well, if it rains, what am I going to do?
Mm.
And then I was like, if it rains, just go and do it in the rain anyway. And
Mm.
then I was like, yeah, I'll tell them to bring this, that, they'll be okay. And then I was like, but I won't be okay. I'll be cold. I don't like to be cold. And then I was like, oh, maybe I could find somewhere to do a second. That would ruin the whole thing. Boom, I shut down. I just shut it down completely. Didn't do it. I didn't even give it another thought. I just
Mm.
put it in the corner and moved on. So about a week ago, I had another unlocking, and I don't know how. I don't remember if it was in Reiki or while I was doing the tapping or while I was doing a class. I don't remember, but I had another. I felt it, an energetic like open, and I was like, "Oh, that feels good." And that in that open, it dropped in my spirit again, and you will do the foot washing. And I was like, "Oh." And this time I was like, "And I will do it."
Yeah.
And I will do it.
Yeah.
And it was easy because everything was there. Everything was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just changed the dates, changed the graphics. And of course, this time I didn't stop at pressing, publish, right? I published it. I published it in Eventbrite and
Okay.
it was up. And I was like, ooh, it's up. And then I was like, and that's not enough. That's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I put it out on Facebook, and one person responded immediately, said, I'm coming, and shared it. And I feel so good that because Latoya in the past would have frozen at that point, right?
At the point of the
Oh,
event,
they're
right?
coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Oh, someone's coming.
Yeah.
And then I would have found, somebody needs to hear this. I would have found other reasons to be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the fear was there, because it wasn't. But I will find something to be afraid about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it came the weather thing, and then I'm like, oh, but what if? But what if? But what if, right? Which is so crazy because you can do this work with other people. And some of y'all listening right now, you feel the same way. You can tell your cousin, you can tell your sister friend, right? But when it comes to you,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different story. Self-sabotage, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, and I have a playbook. I have a playbook on stopping self-sabotage, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this time I was like, you ain't gonna do this. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yep.
You are going to grab that playbook and you're
Yep.
going to clear the self-sabotage. So I did. I cleared
Yes,
it.
you use your own tools. You said, let me go ahead and go back to these tools I already have. Yes.
Because they work. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
I think that's what we do when we get into these places. All of a sudden, we forget that we have all these tools, and we just shut down and do nothing.
And
Yes, congratulations for doing that. Yes, yeah.
it's been good. It's been a really so the next phase was I don't speak Portuguese. I overcame that because I was like, this is energy work that I do. Right. And what's crazy is the universe had been sending me people like, hey, I want to know. I want to know. And I have been helping and doing the work in the little bit of Portuguese that I know. And we're just energetics is just doing the work for us. Right.
Mhm.
So so it's been like, I'm so grateful.
Yeah,
It's been like move through the, you have heard it said all the time, you don't have to know the how,
you
just say
don't.
yes.
Yep.
You don't have to know the how, just say yes and
Yeah.
take the first step. And then a door will open and then you can take another and the door will open and then you can take
Mhm.
another. And guess what though? On that third step, a door may close. And somebody needs to hear this also, right? At that third step, a door may close and another door may close and another door may close. Just because you're walking in purpose and walking in significance doesn't mean that it's all going to be smooth, rosy,
Mhm.
clean. Because there's lessons and there's growth and there's expansion along the way. And that
Yeah.
is the human method, right? And I
Yes.
know I'm talking a lot, but and
No.
so because these yes and the experience is happening, then it's like, no, this is what I am here to do.
Mhm.
And so it's been a beautiful experience of growing myself in Portuguese culture. I translated the flyer, right? Growing myself in truly feeling the energy of the beach and the ocean here on this land, right? And
Mhm.
integrating myself into my next level self.
Mm. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been,
Just to add on to those doors are closing to divert you in the right direction. Like we think we can go down
yes,
this
yes.
way and the door is closed and it's like, I can only go this way. Because that's where you're supposed to go, sis. Like, stop trying to go this way. You're going over here. Oh man. I
And
love
sometimes for me, because I can lean super heavily on this on the Aries energy because I'm on the cusp, whether people believe on the cusp or not. But I can lean super heavily there. And sometimes for me, those doors closing is like, just go sit down and think sometime. Like just go sit down and slow your roll for a moment, right? Like just
yes. That
center.
that is, I think that's where we are right now. We've been texting each other this energy of this full moon in Scorpio, this energy
Mm.
of this lunar eclipse, this energy of Pluto in Aquarius. It is all Mercury retrograde. Everybody's saying to slow down. Everybody calm down. That is one of my my favorite phrases to say. Everybody calm down. We, I
yes.
think I think we all need to take a moment and really evaluate who we are, where we are, how we feel, how we're treating ourselves, how we're treating other people, right? Um, and that for me, it's it has been the uppercuts. It has been like really sit down, girl. And it's like sit down and listen and look,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And like look, listen, and feel.
And feel.
Because
That's the word I was going to say.
look, listen, and feel. I mean, like I mentioned, I was in Virginia for my niece's graduation, and when I tell you, Latoya, first of all, I got me a piece of moldavite, which is a really powerful stone. We could talk
Nice.
about it another time, but it was an opportunity. It was right during the full moon in Scorpio, which was Cinco de Mayo weekend. And if I tell you, I saw the shadows of every person there,
Wow.
including myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Mm-hmm.
my shadow self wants to be so important. Like I got to be the one, right? And so
Mm.
I saw myself doing that and like checking myself. And I saw
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
shadows of my parents. Like one parent was like a 7-year-old child just wanting attention. One parent felt
Mm.
like someone who had been betrayed or who was afraid of me, right? Because I was afraid of my power. So they kind of just was like, ugh. My brother, he's the oldest, but he felt like the younger brother who's just like wanting everybody to be together and have fun, right? My cousin felt like the matriarch, even though she's my youngest first cousin. She felt like the matriarch of the family, like the physical matriarch. And for me, I started feeling like the spiritual matriarch of the family. And I'm like, this is a lot. Like, I need to sit down, people going out after the graduation party, doing all these kind of things. I said, I'm going to go back to my room and I need to write what in the world is happening, because it was intense. So it's not only about sitting down and listening, but feeling, what in the world is this? Am I supposed to be like, yes, I'm supposed to be processing this, but is there something I'm supposed to do with this information? Or am I just supposed to see it so that now I can understand them better or understand me better? Like, what is this? But this time is really a time to like really go within and really connect with who you are. And if you don't know that, that is okay. Right? If you don't know that, that is okay, because we're changing and transform. Like, this is a time of transformation as well, right? So who I was before I went to Virginia and who I am now are two different people, honestly, because of what I saw and I felt and I heard, right? So yeah, taking this time to rest and allowing whoever is listening out here, either right now or to the replay, there is support out here for you as you're processing these things. Like, that is why we come on here every week to talk about it. Like, we are finding words to be able to describe what it is that we are going through or feeling, and sometimes not. We just breathe, right? And like, there's no words. But for those who aren't, who haven't done as much work as we have, or who need some support in the process, we are here to help you with that. Like, doing those deep breaths were coming in really handy, because I'm like, what is going on in here? Because I'm feeling a lot of things. But let me bring myself back down so that I can really try to make some sense of it. And even reaching out for my own spiritual support. Like, just because I'm doing this work doesn't mean I don't need counsel. So it's either pulling cards for myself or sitting with myself or reaching out to somebody like, hey, spirit is doing a thing for me right now and I need help. Like, I just sent an email yesterday. Like, I need some guidance and some support, because I can only take what I'm seeing right now so far by myself. And so that is my message to the people who are listening. Yes, we can handle a lot on our own, especially as melanated folks, especially as melanated women. But there is something to be said about the support that we get to have while we're processing all of this stuff that is coming up. And so I don't believe that you or myself are going through these different aspects of life in the journey for no reason. Like, we're going through it so that we can help others process what's happening for them. So that was my spiel.
So I got to add to that. Hold on. Oh, I love this. I got to show this comment right here.
Yes.
I'm truly just now learning who I am and not who I became out of necessity.
Wow, I felt that one.
Yes.
It's the word necessity that got me. I read everything else. Yeah.
I just feel like everybody, just take a moment and breathe that in, right? And really, like,
But yeah, let's take three. Let's take three.
Let's take three and let your higher self ask the question, who did I become out of necessity?
Okay. So just settle for a second. And we will take 3 deep breaths in through our belly, in through our chest, and out our mouth. So let's do our first breath in through the belly, in through the chest, and exhale, let go. Second breath in through the belly, expanding the chest. Exhale, release, and let go. And this third one, let's forgive who we became out of necessity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So inhale as we expand our belly. Inhale, expand the chest. And exhale, let it all flow out. Mm. Thank you for
That
that.
was so good. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. That really tied together for me something powerful, I think, that came up for me this week.
Mm.
So we were talking last week about being free, right? Freeing your voice, making space for your voice. And I had noticed that for the bigger platforms, like, yes, there's space for my voice and I'm out there. But sometimes the smallest things, right? The smallest things, like you were saying, sometimes we think the smallest things, like for your example, your name, right? Or some slide jokes that slide by, I'm like, okay, not enough to merit my voice, not enough to merit my voice, right? Or I'll just close and shut down. But this week I was like, actually, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to simply say it with power, and just leave it, leave the energy there and let the energy do what it needs to do,
Mm-hmm.
which really ties into continuing to become your most authentic self, continuing to become your most authentic self, especially when you're around people who don't necessarily believe what you believe,
Mm.
who are not necessarily in the frequency that you're in,
Mm-hmm.
and are dealing with it maybe sometimes in full force of their shadow selves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I decided that I was just going to be very gentle and loving, but 120% authentic and free in the voice. And I realized that by doing that, my son, my 14-year-old, had the opportunity to unlock something in himself that he didn't even know was there.
Mm.
Not just to unlock it, but to be okay with it, to say it without reservation.
Mm.
He gets downloads and he channels. He doesn't recognize it as such, but that's what happens. And now when it comes to him, he says it, and he says it with confidence, and he says it with self-respect and self-worth, and gives space for the power of what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
No apologies. No, a lot of times I notice a lot too, especially with my clients. They'll say it, and then they'll be like, I don't know, I don't know.
Yep.
And really what we're doing is discounting ourselves immediately, right?
Yep.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And so he doesn't do that anymore,
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about this energy exchange of money, right? With clients and pricing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my son says, he goes, ooh. And I posted it on Facebook. He says, because when you invest in yourself, you believe in yourself. That's it. Hold on, say more. He said, oh, when you invest in yourself, you believe that you are enough and you are worthy enough to have the outcome that you're investing in. You believe in yourself enough to know that you're going to get what you've invested in. It's
Yep.
really a belief in yourself. That's it.
It had,
I
I'm
said,
the one
hold
who
on.
hear that. Thank you. It's me.
I said, hold on, we got to type this. Right? But because I am able to say, right, that I've been able to say against other energies that are around him, no, it's okay for you to voice your truth. It's
Mhm.
okay for you to know that you can be a musician and you can make money and you can be in wealth and you can be in abundance. It's okay for you to not have a plan B, C, and D. It's okay for you to go full force in who you believe you are, right?
Mhm.
And me starting to say, actually, I think that what just happened right now is because of the universal law of give and take, right? I think that what just happened right now, the Vedic astrology chart says this, and I'm not sure, right? And like just saying it and
Mhm.
let the energy of what I said do what it needs to do and not be
Mhm.
apologetic about who I am, what I believe, what I think, what I'm questioning, what I'm understanding, what I'm opening to,
Mhm.
right? And so it just really ties in. It really that hits for me like when you said when we are authentic in ourselves, when we are just being,
Mhm.
that we're impacting and we're exchanging, we're giving light and receiving light.
Mhm.
And that's not reflected in the clicks of likes and analytics and statistics. It's just not reflected there.
Yeah. Right. Mm. 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 Yeah. It feels like every week your son has something new to be like.
Every week.
Yeah, and that just means like we worry about like, oh, this person is older and wiser, so I can listen to them. But the kids, like, no, we need to be listening to everybody. Everybody is
Everyone.
on equal playing field to be able to teach us something. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think the people that are put here to teach us the most are our children.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you're not
Absolutely.
listening or we're not giving them enough space to share. And when they're sharing, we're kind of discounting them or whatever. Like, no, we need to. eh, Oof, that just takes me. That's your inner child also. He or she may be talking, and you're like, no, no, this you don't know. I know better. Like, no,
Yes.
listen to the children.
Listen. 1,000%.
Listen to the children. Wow.
Hmm.
This
Thank you. Someone said he's a gifted young man. Thank you. I fully believe that too. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be the witness.
Yeah. 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 I mean, wow, these I've been in this space of self-reflection so much. Like
Mhm.
I could talk forever about all of the things that have been coming up, and it's just like one thing after the other. It's coming so fast.
Mhm.
I think also there's
Mhm.
this sped up space of learning, which makes it even more necessary to be in community with other people who are doing the work, right? Um,
Yes.
and to be not only in community, to be supported, to be guided, or whatever. Or if you want to do it on your own, great. Until some point where you do have to be in relationship with other people. I was just sharing with a friend of mine who saw my most recent post about codependency and relationship patterns that I have been in the past, and I'm healing through, and I've healed through certain things, and what I will allow, what I won't allow, all those kind of things. But um, I was saying to her, like, when it comes to even like dating, right? There's
Mm.
certain things that I'm doing on my own that I've worked through, and I'm like, we got boundaries. We already know that's not allowed. But there's certain things that I can't really experience or know that I've healed through until I'm put in relationship with
Yes.
someone else, until
Yes.
I get out there and date or be in relationship with someone to learn, have you really worked through that, or here's an opportunity to work through something new with this person. So there's no such thing as we do all the healing work and then we go and we have these beautiful relationships. We do go and have these beautiful relationships, but there's still more work to there. We're always growing, we're always
Growing.
yeah, and so we have to allow ourselves the opportunity to be in relationship with other people so that we know, hey, I've grown, I've learned, I am learning, and also allowing them the opportunity to learn and grow with being in relationship with you.
With
Yeah,
being, that's something to be said. Hold on, that's something to
yeah,
actually take on,
yeah,
because I don't think, I just think it needs to be said.
yeah,
Because I feel like a lot of us, especially those who identify as strong woman, right? Strong Black woman, a strong melanated woman, however, right? That we've got to be and carry, right? And do and protect and defend. It is, I feel that's a beautiful way of putting it. We are in relationship with them, but we're not allowing them to be in relationship with us.
that's it. That's it. That's why we don't allow the support when it's asked. Like, oh, what do you need my help? Can I help you with XYZ? Like, no, I'm good.
No, I'm
Whatever.
good.
But as soon as they call or as soon as you see an opportunity to
You
be of
up and
service,
running. You
I,
up and running.
you,
You the first one.
and it's not insane. I understand where it's coming from. I know that is something that I have processed, or am still processing, allowing people to be of support to me, um, and making space for that. But yeah, we also need to understand that people are in relationship with us, right? They want to be in relationship.
They want to be. And can I add, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. It's just as much as it's a blessing for us to help, to share, to support. It is a blessing for them to be able to help and support and be in community and be in real relationship, open, authentic, vulnerable relationship with us, because you and I and everybody listening, we have gold to give.
Hmm.
We have whatever it is, we have love,
Yeah.
kindness, experience, wisdom, laughter, you
Yeah.
know, all of
Yeah.
that. And when we hold so tightly, um really we're denying the world our light.
Yeah, we're denying the world an opportunity, like people in the world, an opportunity to actually show us how much they appreciate us. Because some people don't even know what they can do to like, we don't have to repay anybody, but that is
Mhm.
kind of, I feel like there's plenty of people out there who see the givers of the world, who are constantly giving, as like, wow, I would love an opportunity to be able to show up for them. But
Mhm.
we keep taking that opportunity away when we're like, no, I'm good. No, I don't want to be a burden. No, like, they are waiting to be, or they're waiting for you to be a burden. Okay.
Right.
They're waiting for you to
Right.
ask for what you need. They are waiting to support you. Like, I mean, I don't, there's certain people in my life that I love so much, and they won't allow me to do anything, and to do anything to show up for them. So I just be like, listen, okay, let me just do this, please.
Mhm. I
Let
used to
me,
be that person.
yeah, let
And
me just do this. Go ahead.
let me serve you. I remember hearing those words.
Hmm.
Let me serve you.
Yeah,
Let me bless you. I
yeah,
remember hearing those words, like forcefully, like, let me get to your head. Let me
yeah.
be a blessing to you, right?
Yeah. And it's also like in using our voice to ask for what we need, because sometimes we have been disappointed in the past, or people have blown up and we don't want to deal with how they're going to respond and all these kind of things. One, it's about setting the intention, but also it's about who we ask for what, right? if our needs haven't gotten met by certain people in the past, maybe they're not the right people to be asking for those needs to be met. Or maybe they're like, let's give people an opportunity to meet your needs with small things, right? Maybe it's not asking them to pick you up from, the airport. Maybe it's asking them to grab something extra when they're coming on their way to see you. Like, can you just get me bring some juice over, because I ran out of juice. And let them have that opportunity, that small opportunity to support you. And then let them work their way up to being able to pick you up from the airport, or go, or pay for an XYZ thing, right? But we get to let people have small opportunities to be able to support you, so that you can build trust that they will show up. And also so that you can start taking some of those things off your plate that you're doing for yourself, and other people could possibly help you with. Yeah.
And you can feel freer. And
free up time, energy.
Free up your energy, free up your time, your money. And what that does also is create some community and create some bonding, right? And like you said, it does create trust between you, right?
Yeah.
Between they can feel more connected to you.
Yeah.
And I would add one more thing. What came up for me as you were speaking, also, if someone has let you down in the past, it's unfair to project that letdown onto everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that I have to take a little thought back whenever I'm doing it. I'm like, what proof do you have that this person
that this person in front of you right now with this name,
yeah,
right, is not going to do this?
Yeah.
Because Harry didn't do it. Well, don't project Harry onto Larry.
We didn't like Harry like that. We didn't even
right. Harry got his own energy back there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's goodness. That's goodness. That's goodness.
Woo.
Well, I think we're at time and we can kind of wrap up.
Yes, I am ready to wrap up. I wanted to share a quick card that came up yesterday as I was doing a lot of things, but doing nothing really. I was just going for a walk, and then a lot of energy was coming over me. But I pulled from my goddess rising. Oya is the goddess of storms.
Okay.
She also guards the cemeteries, and it's all about death and rebirth. So it says, wielding her powerful sword of truth, Oya is the Yoruba goddess of storms, wind, and lightning. Storms bring shift, rapid and uncontrollable change, and at time, chaos. The winds of change are in motion. That is true with all these transits. Into every life, a little rain must fall. Personal storms clear away the old. Sometimes change moves slowly. At other times, change is swift. What would you like to change? If you are not actively changing it, you are choosing it. Oof. I'm gonna bring it back around.
Go ahead.
If you are not actively changing it, you are choosing it. To make shift happen, focus on what you want. Stop giving energy to what is not working. The biggest thing holding you back is you. If you want people and life to treat you better, you go first. If you attract betrayals, stress, and strife, the common denominator is you. Beating yourself up. That's what it says here. It's not me. Beating yourself up is self-harm. Feel your feelings, honor your journey, tell yourself the truth, and practice self-compassion.
Okay, so I've got to read the card that I pulled this week because it came to my mind twice to read it, and then I was like, "What is it's a good wrap up this time." And then when you read the card, it ties so nicely.
Come on with it.
So I'm not gonna read the whole card, but I'm just gonna read the questions that came with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's this one, Aunt Nancy, and it said betrayal. When I pulled it, I said, "No, this one got to go back. I ain't messing with you. But I just want to read the question because this is going to be powerful. Because it mentioned the same word in what you were reading, right? This betrayal.
Mm,
And the question is, who really betrayed you?
mm,
Betrayals from others mirrors you betraying yourself.
yep.
And I think that that just tied up the card that you just read, also just kind of just nicely, just
Mm-hmm.
how it starts here. That
Yep.
really is, it starts here.
Yep. Yep.
It starts here.
Mm,
Mm.
wow.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So juicy. This is so good and juicy. It ought to be food.
Yeah.
It ought to be food that we could consume.
This is medicine. Okay. This is, yes. Yes. Ugh.
All right, tell the people what you got.
Yes, I hope this session, I'm calling it a session, blessed you today. Okay. I hope this sermon was good for you. Um, I am Marissa, a free, courageous, authentic woman, and you can find me on the purplekittyny.com or at Marissa with a C on Instagram or Facebook. I am currently offering a program called Free Living for Black Women, where you get to move through this self-awareness, getting to the root of your patterns, doing that self-care and really creating something to nourish your system, so that you can radically choose yourself out here. So if that is something that you are interested in, definitely check out the website and hit me up for Free Living for Black Women. I also do private breathwork sessions, which I really, really enjoy. We can either do them virtually or in person here in New Orleans. Everything is on the website. And yeah, I thank y'all for listening because this was a really cute conversation. Yes. Soul food. Yes. Soul
Soul
food.
food, right? That's exactly what this was. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know that soul food that stays in your mouth, after you've consumed it, but it just stays with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the stuff right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. I'm Latoya, your spiritual inner power coach, guide, and practitioner. So the next thing, because I'm in the moment right now. I'm in the moment.
Yeah.
You gotta get in it.
Yeah. Same.
I feel like I haven't since I was 17, y'all. But um, um, yeah. Sorry. What's the date? Let me come back to life. Let me come back to the living. On the 16th,
Yes.
in my Facebook group, Release That Ish, Power Circle. I'm going to do the tapping session again. It's back by popular demand. People who were there were like, "Can we do this again?" And
Mm.
people who missed it were like, "Could you please do this again?" Even though there's a replay, but I need to be there live, so I'm doing it again on the 16th. Come, put it in your calendar. Do not miss it. Come
Yep.
live. It's
Yep.
May 16th. What is it? Tuesday. It's coming up Tuesday. And
Okay.
it is rewriting your money story. Okay. Rewriting your wealth story. Really coming into the integration of wealth consciousness. And then what I said there is, right, this is not about making money. This is not about making money. This is not even about attracting money. This is about you being in wealth consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You knowing who you are and what you are capable of, and really integrating that into your being.
Yeah.
That's what this is, right? So that's what we're going to be tapping on. It is really powerful because before we do the tapping, we set the frequency first. We set the vibration.
Mhm.
So
What time is that on the 16th? Because I need to put that in my calendar.
thank you for asking me. It's at 4:33 EST.
Okay.
9:33 my time. So yeah, 4:33 EST. Rewrite your money story.
Ooh,
It's
that's
going to be a really powerful session.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, and we'll start there. You come out there, and then I'm going to make the other announcements.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what we
Okay.
got.
All right. It's in my calendar.
Fantastic. Everybody, thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching on the replay. Thank you for lending your energy, your positive energy, your comments, because they make the difference. And we learn from you just as much, right? This is collective energy of elevating that we're
Yeah.
creating here. And I absolutely love it.
Same. Same.
Mm. So
Thank you.
good. I sleep better when y'all are here.
I know. Right.
Right?
It's like anybody listening, but yes, getting out there.
So, have a wonderful weekend. I know it's Mother's Day and it's all kinds of energies out there, but whatever that means to you or for you, I'm celebrating you. Celebrate yourself.
That, oh, I love this.
Celebrate yourself.
Well said. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And all being well. We'll see you
Yeah.
next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.